What's up, folks? Almost out of daylight. Uh, Today I published a blog post. It took me a while to work on it. It didn't take me that long, actually. It's been a while since I've written anything for my blog. I've been using stuff that I've already had written. Have written. Hmm. Anyways, today's blog post was inspired by a video that I saw with Gary Vaynerchuk, and how he talks about how you're gonna die, and he talks about you don't need a watch, or he's like, I don't need a watch. He said, I don't need a whip, and I mean, he's right. He's like, that's not news to me. It's good to hear things that you already know, or things you already believe, right? Um, you know, if you feel like, you have nice teeth, and somebody says, hey, you have nice teeth, you already know that, right? You already know you have nice teeth, but to hear it from somebody, it's reassuring. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel that what you believe is true. So to hear Gary V talk about these things was reassuring. It made me feel good. It wasn't new information to me by any means, but it was really good to hear somebody else who's smart say similar things to what I have said, or believe in things similar to what I believe. A piece of dog hair over there. Dog hair every fucking place. So seeing that made me put some effort into the blog post that I have been kind of putting off, and it was the 6 months to live to do list, and then there's a 5 year to live to do list, right? So when I originally did this, it gave me short-term goals. Short-term goals, I'll take that. It's short-term goals and then long-term goals, right? 6 month goals and 5 year goals. And it makes, because these are the things you want to do before you die. When you write these things down, it's forcing you to prioritize. Like, you may not know it, but if you write something down on this list, thinking in your mind that you have 6 months to live, these things that you have written down when you're done are your priority. There should be nothing else in this world that you want to do more than these things you have written down. That doesn't mean you have to quit your job, right? It doesn't mean you have to abandon your family. And the reality is, you may live past 6 months. So don't look at it that way. Just know that these are the things you should be chipping away at, right? If you're gonna die in 6 months, and you're going to travel the world, fly around the world, you can't do that, right? You can't leave your family and your job and your responsibilities to go do that. But you can start working on it. You'll know that that's your priority, and you'll start working on being able to do it. Probably fund it, right? Make the funds. Start saving money. Maybe work a little extra. Maybe work a little smarter, right? Make some more money, so that start planning it so that you can. Doesn't mean you're going to die in 6 months and that you should hurry up. But that means when you're done writing those things down, taking into effect that you may be dead in 6 months, or will be dead in 6 months, you'll be surprised at the things you write down and the things you don't. The things that aren't a priority, right? The reason for this exercise is to determine your priorities, the priorities. And the things I wrote down, I was surprised to see that I went back and looked at this list, and every one of them was done. I did them all. Imagine writing a list of things you want to do before you die, and you did them all. Can you imagine that? All right. So I shared this list. I shared my 5 year list. I shared my 6 month list. I created a new 6 month list because all my old ones are done. created a new one. I explained everything in this week's blog post, and then I challenge you, and I'm going to challenge you now. And if you don't go read my blog post, that's fine, because you're going to get the challenge now. The challenge is for you to write a 6-month to live to-do list. If you're going to be told right now you have 6 months to live, what would you write down on your to-do list to do before you die? All right, that's my challenge to you. Maybe I should end this today, right here. No, I'm not gonna end there. I keep talking about The Godfather. I got interrupted by a text message yesterday, a hilarious text message. So I lost track. But The Godfather, two things. If you're a fan of The Godfather, two things that you may have been like, wow, what the hell? For the past, I don't know, 30 years or so, let's say. Number one, it's two people. That you're like, who are these? Who is that fucker? Right? Al Neri, right? Albert Neri. You see him, all of a sudden he's there. He's Michael's like right-hand man. Where did he come from? It's in the book. Background story, everything. It's in the book. And Rocco Lamporti. Rocco Lamporti. Oh, who the fuck's Rocco? All of a sudden there's a guy named Rocco's in this movie, all right? Where did he come from? Where's his story? It's in the book. The book includes part of the movie when Vito goes to where Vito comes from, Sicily. It tells that story. It also tells a story of how Vito became the Godfather. This is all in the second part of the movie, but it's all in the first book. Also, backstory on Johnny Fontaine. They leave so much out of the movie. I mean, it was irrelevant. It was irrelevant for the movie, but it was cool to read some more history about Johnny Fontaine. And of course, as I stated last, 2-3 days ago, that Sonny's mistress, Lucy Mancini, was never pregnant by Sonny. She was never pregnant by Sonny, and therefore Vincent Mancini, played by Andy Garcia, in the movie The Godfather 3, never existed. It couldn't have been The Godfather 3. What else? There was another reason. Anyways, I'm kind of sad that book is over. I'm kind of sad that book's over. Yesterday, Frat Boy came this close to falling on my face, and I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. I was bouldering. In between boulders, I just kind of sit down and kind of chill and wait in between routes, in between my next route. And I'm just sitting there, and out of nowhere, a Frat Boy falls from the sky. Nearly bashes my head in. And I laugh. He's sorry. He wasn't being a dick. He fell. And when he fell, he fell, or maybe he jumped. I don't know. But he didn't look to see where I was. If he fell, it's not his fault. It's my fault. I shouldn't have been laying there. But if he jumped, he should have looked first. Very apologetic, very sorry. And I was like, man, that was fucking close. I would have been pissed if he'd have landed on my face. Right? I would have been pissed. But I wasn't. I just laughed at how close that was. And I told him, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There's nothing you can do. He apologized to me I don't know, 20 minutes later when I walked by, and I said, don't worry about it, man. Nothing happened. It could have happened, and maybe I would have been pissed, and maybe I would have got my middle-aged ass beat by a fucking college boy. But none of that happened. Nobody had to get mad. I didn't get mad. That's the thing. That's the point of me telling this. I didn't get mad. Why didn't I get mad? I don't know. I get mad a lot lately, seems like. I'll tell people to fuck off. I don't care. But why didn't I get mad at... He was sorry. He apologized immediately. You could see the remorse, the honest, the genuine remorse in his face. There's no need to get mad at that. I guess that's it. Now I gotta go to fucking Starbucks and try to upload this shit, and then get frustrated when it doesn't, and then I'll do it again, and then I'll waste my whole... I don't know where time goes. I just feel like I just woke up. I just woke up, and I spent several hours at the computer, and then my day's done. I spend several hours at the computer, and then I go eat something, and then I take a nap, and then I read, and then I go for a long walk, and then where'd my day go? Where did it go? I'm trying not to itch my nose, but I have... You don't know how many nose hairs I pull out of here. I'm immune to the pain now. I pull so many nose hairs out of my nose that I'm immune to the pain. It doesn't faze me. But yet there's always hairs in there that tickle the shit out of my fucking nose. Anyways, wore his ass out. Took him for a walk. I guess that's it.